I'm recording, Rachel.
I see that. I thank you.
Okay, so we're recording.
We met a week ago Monday. Carla, Pat, Karen, Deb, and JW. And then JW and Deb were so kind as to bring Rich and Susan up to speed during the week. And Rich has sent some comments from that meeting. So now we are on brainstorming session number 3. And I'm just wondering, as people have been thinking about things and things have been percolating in your minds, if there's any things that, what did you hear from the meeting that you were part of? What did anything rise to the top, or suggestions that you think we should really take seriously? So just start throwing some things out. And Rich, does it work if should we mute ourselves when we're not talking and then unmute ourselves when we are talking? What's your protocol?
Well, I usually have people mute, but there's nobody giving feedback on this one. So I would say just leave it unmuted.
Okay, so that just means that people can jump in whenever they want to. So, but maybe because we are in this really strange kind of format, or I should not say that way. It's just different. Would someone want to go first and to talk about what did you hear in your meetings? What were some things that you don't want us to lose, that you think really we should consider, or you think rose to the top of the conversation? And I will let someone else go first.
What I heard from both groups is location is key, and I think the fellowship hall is probably the place that we would agree upon.
Thank you, JW. And I would just say that there was actually conversation outside of this planning group that has been talking about using the fellowship hall. In the conversation that was happening, the conversation of what is church group that was meeting during second hour, in the last round of conversation there, it actually came up 2 different people for 2 different reasons. One person, and it was not, and I would say there was like 30 people there probably, and no one was opposed to the idea. But one of the reasons the fellowship hall came up is because we don't fill the sanctuary anymore, and that people get anxious. It's called spatial anxiety, when congregations don't fill their space. And so someone was suggesting, why don't we move back? I don't think they meant permanently, but it was suggested, why don't we move back and use the assembly room, and we might feel much more confident about ourselves because we'd actually more likely fill the assembly room. So that was one reason. And the other reason that people said to use it is because it's a place where we can change up format, and changing up format helps us to think differently. So it's not just from this group that people are saying that, it's also broader from the congregation. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
I think a second thing tied with location is a later start time.
I'm writing some of this down, but maybe others of you are recording also.
What, Rich, was it our group that talked about a 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, and 11?
Yeah, progressively later until the last Sunday before Memorial Day or Labor Day.
I'm not sure about that one. I would go for the later start date. I don't know if we can do the progressive thing. That seems just confusing.
Well, that's what we agreed. It would certainly confuse some people. So. But a later start date without Sunday school, makes sense in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So. Did we talk about 10:30?
Yes, that came up.
Or 11.
And 10 and 9:30.
10:30 seems to be reasonable, but
Well, okay, did part of the conversation, well, I mean, we started we started it in our group too, was whether of how long this series might be. And what I heard come out of our group was that, you know, maybe since we don't really know what we're doing or how we're doing it, like, do we make it for shorter? Because originally I think I had said like 7 weeks, and that people thought that felt long. Do we do it shorter? In August, we don't have children's education, so does that give us more flexibility with this later start date or time, this later start time? And if we aren't having children's education, does that influence what we might do in the service? Like, are there things elements in the service that we might make it be more child friendly?
Yeah, I think the group that we were in, or the meeting I was with, we had settled on all 4 Sundays in August and the first Sunday in September, which is the last Sunday before the beginning of the church year.
Okay.
I'll speak up for Susan. Susan has real strong feelings about it being no longer than 3 weeks, and really do it up well. That was her. I'm just quoting Susan so that she's part of this discussion.
Thank you.
I think she wondered if we could carry off 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right, Rich?
Yeah, that sounds right. And after I got into it, I suddenly realized that there's just a host of material here for, you know, this topic is huge. Materials everywhere. So.
I think one of the things that the first group said when they were talking about is, like, don't announce exactly how long this series is, and if it really bombs, then we just stop it and no one knows. Like, so if it only lasts 2 Sundays, then it only lasts 2 Sundays. But don't you think we have enough time to really pull something more off? I mean, yeah, I hear Rich is nodding yes, but
I do. I think we have, yeah.
That was
But
8 weeks,
let
right?
somebody else speak, and Pat, you know, chip in on the chat.
What was I going to say? Something.
We had 8 weeks in the series. Is that what you're talking about? Five?
Well, or
As
less.
As it stands right now, we're sort of looking at 5. And it looks like Rich has really been doing his homework. I was impressed with the email that he sent out. There was a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, I liked it too. I've been having a really good time reading James Martin's book. It's loaded.
Yes.
Hope mine gets here soon.
okay, friends, I'm going to have to step away for a little bit, and I'm going to go off the computer, and I'm going to see if I can get myself back on my phone. If you would keep the conversation going and someone record stuff and talk about, what people heard, and then if we could move by, say, 10 after 7, if we could move towards, okay, what do we really want in this series? That would be great. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for right now, and then maybe I'll be back, or maybe I won't, but I trust that all of you will be doing really great work without me.
Can you come, please? Out of East. So where do we go from here at this point?
Just send out your notes.
No.
Forward.
I had sent Rachel an outline. What happens, Rich, if in my moving my screen around, I go to another link? Do I lose you guys?
Well, you you can share your screen.
I
Down at the bottom, isn't there? Down at the bottom, if you hover over the bottom line there should be a green arrow that says share screen.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
want to share it?
Yeah. You don't want that.
I'm going to my email,
Okay.
and I sent
You
something.
won't lose it.
Sent.
You won't lose it.
Go to sent. Observations.
Click on that.
Now, what do I do with that, Rich? I share that?
Do you want to share it? Share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Just click on the green button down below. Hover over the bottom there.
It says Hangouts. That green button.
No, it should say. It should
I
say.
know it says
share.
JW.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to make you the host. So you are now the host. So you should see a share screen button at the bottom.
Deb, do you see it?
No.
Hmm.
There's a green circle with a number 1 in it. So just Hangouts conversations.
Huh.
Then I've got my name with a green circle by it.
Green dot.
Sorry. Yeah. I just made you the host. So you should be able to share the screen. But
So if I go back to where you guys are,
yeah. Yeah, go back to the video screen where we see all 4 of us.
now it says download, click the Zoom launcher.
No, you're in Zoom. I mean, I can see you.
A download should start automatically in a few seconds. You don't have to close it.
Okay, somehow I've lost the visual with you guys.
Close anything that's irrelevant.
All right, I'm closing the Washington Post. I'm closing New York Times.
Do you see a little camera icon in your tray at the bottom of your screen?
Yes.
Down in the tray where you have. Okay, click on that.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right. And
Now,
now at the bottom of the screen that you just brought up should be that little green folder with an arrow that says share screen.
Yes.
Okay, you click that and you can share whatever you want to on your screen.
Did I just share that?
Yep, just hit the share button.
Can you hit the share button? Share screen. Ah,
Okay,
there we go.
there we go. Now I see it.
So this was basically what I sent to Rachel as a follow-up, Rich, when Susan, you and Deb and I met.
Okay.
And it was basically, we came out at 4 or 5 sessions. The fellowship hall started at 10:30. We talked about biblical text versus stories or topics. We preferred both stories and one-liners. We wanted to know if we should allow for storytelling from the congregation. And then your whole list of things, I didn't put them all there. I didn't put all of Jim Martin's things, but you know, how Midnight's lost humor, mirth, levity, the difference between humor and laughter and that stuff. What's so funny about Job? Would you name your kid Laughter? Is God revealed in laughter? Can you laugh in silence? The discipline of laughter, spiritual discipline of laughter. And then I went further with her. She and I have talked further, is that I wondered if something like this might be something. August 5th, Introduction to Laughter and Holiness, a biblical overview using one-liners from both the Old and New Testament, from Proverbs, from Psalms, just a variety of places. Second Sunday, pick up the Isaiah story. Third Sunday, pick up Jeremiah or maybe Book of Job or one-liners from Ecclesiastes. The crackling of thorns under a pot is so laughter of fools. This is also vanity. Numbers, Balaam's ass, etc. And then the 26th, going with Jesus and humor, Matthew 29:24. Develop later, Luke 7, Luke 6. Wondering questions I had. How do we incorporate the children? How do we allow time for storytelling, music, etc., etc.? So those were some of the wanderings that happened.
Does that sound pretty right?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
That sounds very
From what we
accurate.
discussed. Yeah.
I'm responsible for spelling mirth wrong, not John. Number 7.
Mark, yeah. MYRTH.
Is there anything out of there that would move us further along?
I think there's a lot there that can move us along. That looks like a basic outline. I mean, we could really work with this.
Is it good
Pat
to be?
says she likes some of the outline that JW is proposing.
What?
Pat had said she likes some of the outline that JW is proposing in chat.
Okay.
So I mean that, and the other thing that allows for, that only had 4 Sundays. If you go into the first Sunday of September, you can do 2 on Jesus. Or the other is, I talked with Rachel informally, was something made from Pauline, Paul, and might be some humor in Paul.
And also we could maybe use that Sunday as sort of a celebration too.
Yeah.
We conclude celebration of humor in life and whatever.
Yeah, there was some humor in the book of Jonah that James Martin points out in his book in one of his chapters, and he's got some really great insight in the scriptures overall that you have here. So he's an excellent resource. I think we've got a lot to go with.
Yeah, the Psalm 4:7 there. You put more joy in my heart than they have with their grain and their abundance of wine.
Yeah,
that's good. I like that.
So that Sunday should be free beer.
I agree. Or maybe a wine tasting.
Right. We have enough wine makers. Wine.
I think we do. They could bring some samples along. I think, yeah. Maybe I could have some mead created from honey by then.
Ah.
What?
I think storytelling is key, though, for something like this. Number 6.
Yeah.
I would suggest
I
it being
think the trick. Go ahead, Deb.
No, go ahead. I just suggest that it be a part of it. Like it says, possibly. And I think storytelling would be huge to making it go over well.
Is that, how do I want to say this? Whosoever will may tell stories, or is it controlled?
Well, I don't know. I think it should be, there should be some parameters set around it so that it's focused on the scripture. I want to be careful to think about what we're actually being joyous about or laughing about. Because it could get, yeah, it could go awry quickly, I believe, if it's not done right.
It could become Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, exactly. And we want this to be focused on scripture, you know, and not about a person or, I mean, an event in scripture, you know, perhaps, or a person, yeah, in scripture, but not the person who's telling the story. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So parameters around it would be good.
And I have the opposite concern from the standpoint that I think there's a very delicate balance between the humor and holiness that we're working on, and not being a native Mennonite. I know that sometimes we can get too serious about a topic.
Right. Oh, I don't, yeah.
It goes that way. So
Right.
I think there has to be a really nice light balance between the humor and the holiness part.
I agree.
And I think we'll do that. It's just the other thing I thought about. you'd ask about storytelling being controlled or whosoever will. As I was thinking about this, I thought we have a lot of natural humorists in our congregation. I just named a couple of them, like Edgar, who would be great resources for a storytelling. He's a person of great good humor, I think.
Yeah.
Did you talk about Ed Miller as well, I think?
Yeah.
Twyla, yeah. There are lots of
Kevin King.
Dave Fry.
Where do video clips fit in this? I enjoyed the one that you linked us to.
Oh, you mean the TED Talk?
Yeah.
I didn't send. Oh shoot! I didn't send you the other one. There's this really humorous song called Mississippi Squirrel Revival.
Oh, yes.
A song about the day the squirrel got loose in the First Baptist Church of Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Yes. Stevens does
It's
it.
hilarious. Yeah. I meant to send that link.
It's a video clip. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's great.
You're suggesting we let squirrels loose in the assembly room. Nice.
Or at least show a video.
At least show the video. But I think that kind of thing is helpful. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of humor would bring levity to the group.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not the whole thing, but at some point it's good. A small piece.
There probably should be an element of that every week.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about children, probably would want to talk to Sandy if she's doing storytelling this summer, or if she's doing children's hour. I'm not sure who's scheduled to do that. Or do we have a time for children to bring their riddles every Sunday? Kids love riddles.
Yeah.
Riddle me.
That would be an important element.
Mm-hmm.
What have we named so far? We've identified story. We've identified scripture. We've identified video clip kind of thing. We've identified riddles. I assume music is also there, because we talked about that in the first session, what kind of songs we would use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perhaps the children's time could be all riddles, like every time.
What about the talent show idea?
I didn't hear about that. I don't know anything about the talent show. That didn't come up in the meeting I was in.
Did we talk about that, Rich?
Yeah, we talked about, I think I mentioned that Akron has a history of producing really good talent shows.
Right.
With people, some of it's humorous and some of it was music, and a lot of it was humorous, the talent shows. See, Akron used to not have church on one Sunday every year, and we went down to Black Rock Retreat and had church there, stayed overnight, and the night before had a talent show, and almost as many people as possible participated. So I'm sure we have lots of good talent who could. I don't know if it's something you do part of you devote a little piece of time on Sunday morning to it, or do you have a special occasion during the 4-week series when you plan a special Saturday night talent show celebrating humor and holiness? Or, how far out do you spin it? I don't know.
Yeah, I like your idea of highlighting it, at some point. Maybe it could be the culmination at the end, like part of the service in a way. Or I guess it just depends on how many participants and how long it would take.
and what the parameters are, you know.
Yeah, because I think that trying to get people together on a Saturday in the summer, I don't know how that's going to go over.
Sunday is hard enough.
I know.
Lucky to get them there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be a talent show, but maybe there just are. Maybe we have a time reserved on Sunday morning, like we talked about for a time reserved for storytelling, or someone has a talent, some kind of a talent that entertains that they want to bring. But Pat asked, would the talent show be more than music? I'm sure, yes, it would be, sure.
Do you treat it like America's Got Talent? Akron's Got Talent. You have 4 judges. You have 90 seconds, and you can be buzzed off.
I love it. I think that's a great idea. It could be more than music. It could be whatever, their idea is.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
You need to audition for this.
You need to prepare for this.
Right. Don't just show up.
Props, costumes, whatever's needed to carry it off.
I love it. That's a great idea.
So Akron has talent.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? Akron has talent. We have a space on Sunday morning for Akron has talent. What does it mean?
Yeah. Yep. Many different gifts. And I wouldn't be opposed to food being a part of that either. Someone has a talent for baking or cooking in some kind. Maybe we could have a potluck picnic afterwards or something, and I don't know.
Or we could have the traditional Southern dinner on the grounds that you can bring the dish that you would never ever dare to a normal Akron Mennonite potluck.
There could be a lot of
dishes or beverages.
There could be a lot of humor in that.
I'm sorry, I had
a thought go through my mind and I lost it.
Well, what's our goal for this meeting? What do we want to come away with? Do we want to pull this email together into a roadmap for the 5 Sundays? And add those, how many elements? I think we had 4 or 5 elements that we wanted to include in each week.
Yeah, I'm always a great one for, coming up with a result of some sort. If we package 5 Sundays and then we put in the individual and start slotting the things that we think we might like on those Sundays, working with the themes, then you can start working with the videos and the music and the talent and the riddles and, I don't know.
Is there chapter titles that we could use as a springboard for the weeks?
Yeah, they were pretty good. They were pretty good, those chapter titles.
Go back to those.
Well, you mean from Jim Martin?
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I mean, if we could choose 5 of those, even if we might modify them later, it just might give us some beginning of structure. I don't know what would fit with what we've already discussed or what JW has in this outline. just a thought. I just remember being amused by the titles.
Yeah, they were good. I'm going to go grab my book.
Recovering Levity in the Community of Believers. That has an Anabaptist feel to it. I'm Not Funny and My Life Stinks. Answers the most difficult challenges of living the joyful life.
I like that joyful element. how can you laugh or whatever if you are not experiencing any joy? Maybe that's simplistic, but
let's pick up this concept of what elements. Have we agreed that we would do a mixture of story and one-liners?
Yeah, I think that's what we agreed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
say that again. Mix of what?
Story and one-liners, similar to what my outline says here. There may be stories, but may take a whole, like the first one may be one-liners throughout the whole biblical text. And then the second week is an actual story. I don't feel that we have to fix those stories at this stage. Do you guys feel we have to fix them?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a story? Do we have 5? We have 4.
I had
5 what?
stories. The first one I put down is just one-liners, you know what I'm saying, throughout the biblical text.
Oh, that would be that all together. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So that's the first Sunday, and it's an introduction to this whole thing of laughter and holiness. And here's some examples in the biblical text.
Okay.
Like the 2 Chronicles 22 passage where the king dies and nobody cares.
Here.
JW, could you unshare your screen now? Should be a green bar there somewhere that lets you unshare.
Do I have to?
Can you forward that to me? I didn't get that.
What?
That email.
Oh,
I didn't.
I don't know if he sent it yet.
I don't even know if I sent it. I was just my musings.
How about?
Oh.
How
Okay.
do I get back to my video?
Down at the bottom where you see the little camera icon,
Yeah,
Right.
click on that. Yeah, click on that.
Click it.
I'm clicking on it. Meeting
All right.
controls. It does nothing. Do you want to take me away as this dude?
No, you have to give it up.
How do I give it up?
Should be able.
Meeting controls. Put X.
Yeah, try that.
No, that ends the meeting. No.
Cancel.
Just be cancel. Yeah.
What if I go to this and it says no?
Mhm.
Skip.
Yeah. Oh, crumb. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I see it. Somehow we're looking at your computer. Can you
Yeah.
minimize?
It should be.
Can you
There
minimize
should
your
be.
screen?
Click on the share screen icon again at the bottom.
Share screen.
What does it tell you?
I don't see.
Meeting controls with a green
No,
line.
Go back to where you see it. Do you see us across the top?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, down
Hi,
at the bottom. Do you see? Is there a little? I see an icon that says share screen down at the bottom. If you click that, maybe that will let you unshare it.
Share screen.
I don't see that. Ah, there it is. Found it.
Okay.
I want to click on that.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to do set that out. What happens if I hit this one?
You're gonna lose.
I'm going to lose everything.
Well, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I wanted to. I have the. Yeah, somehow we got to get you out of Zoom now. I thought if you could see the share screen icon at the bottom.
I got share. Okay. I'm on that right now. Mine's at the top.
No, it says new share.
Oh, okay.
Pause.
How about view option?
Stop.
Wait a minute.
Stop share is red.
Okay, I just sent request for. There we go. I got it back. I'm going to share my screen so Pat can see the table of contents. There. Pat, there's the table of contents for the book.
Fix that. Up in the corner.
Approve this.
Yeah, you just click on the little icon at the bottom of the camera and you should see us again.
We're looking at the chapters.
Yeah, okay. I just thought it'd be helpful for Pat to see that.
I like the one chapter that says, "I'm not funny and my life stinks." Because I wonder if some people are going to really feel that way, you know, but we still want them a part of the service.
Which chapter is that, Karen? I remember us reading that, but I don't see her.
It's chapter
7.
777. Oh, yeah. I'm not funny and my life stinks. Answers to the most difficult challenges of living a joyful life. Excessive levity? What was that?
That's his introduction.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I got us distracted. I just want Pat to be able to see this.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Are there others that we like?
Well, I liked how he broke down the story of Jonah and just kept finding one, almost ridiculous thing after another in that story.
Should that be the Old Testament story, Jonah?
It could be. There was just so much in it, and it's a short chapter.
So in other words, we go from the Isaac story on the second Sunday to the third story on Jonah. Then
Sure.
to Jesus.
Get back to where we were. I'm sorry. I hit something here.
You're buying books for me. This is wonderful, dear.
Yes.
No, that was for me. That was for me.
I'm
Just because you
I'm
want to
just happy
borrow
when
them.
people buy books. Just keep buying books. I'm going to borrow them
Your screen.
from somebody.
Green.
No, we don't want to share my screen.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Rich, we jumped out of the Zoom. We can hear and see you, but our screen is messed up.
We can see you still.
Okay.
We can see you.
Yeah, I realize that, but we can't get back to the chapter.
Oh, well, that's on me. So let me find it again. But go ahead and keep going while I find it.
Okay. Just leave it. Okay, well, we were discussing the elements.
Of each service?
Yeah, the mix of story and one-liners is all I've gotten so far.
And well, I think we've also agreed that we like we liked an overview, we like Isaac, and we like Jonah
Right.
and Jesus.
Yeah.
Who?
And didn't you say Psalms 95? Or, wait, was that right?
I just used that as an example when I was talking about alcohol.
Isaac, Jesus.
We got to have the story of Job.
I don't know.
We
got to have the story of Job and the ostrich in there too.
Overview of the Bible. That's Sunday 1. Laughter or humor and holiness. Humor and holiness. Sunday 2 is the Isaac story, Genesis 17 to 23.
Okay.
Sunday 3 is the book of Jonah.
Perfect. Okay.
Sunday 4 is Jesus.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Does that feel okay as an outline? And then maybe Jesus on the last Sunday, or we haven't figured out the fifth one yet.
Right.
And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we just march forward with the 4 and keep an idea in the back of our head that that Sunday is going to be low attendance, but it would be time to do something, some kind of a celebration or a party or something fun.
Can you read that statement there? It could be a recap, a closer. A recap of what we've done. It would be interesting to let people look for stories that they find humorous and why.
Mm-hmm.
From the biblical text.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want them to submit them?
Well, that's why I included that one in there about Job and the ostrich.
Yeah. I think people would enjoy looking for them and telling why they thought it was funny. Or maybe not tell why. Just let the audience wonder.
Yeah. I think, maybe like some kind of a reflection Sunday or I don't know, congregation talk back, or I don't know.
Rich, am I seeing your screen?
Yeah, you're seeing my screen.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to stop sharing my screen.
Oh, that's what I went through. I don't know what I did, but I stopped it.
What is the orange back to meeting going to do?
I don't know. You keep talking, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Or not.
All right. So we've got the 4 themes I think picked up, or possibly 5. Maybe
Well,
as a recap.
We have overview, Isaac's story, Jonah's story, and Jesus' story.
And then the last one can either be Jesus or it can be a recap. That's what Pat was suggesting. There's just a variety of ways we can go on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that was the one I would worry about least at this point.
Yes.
We may get a real brainstorm here as we go along and say, oh,
Yeah.
we just have to do this.
Gratitude, a Sunday of gratitude. Joy is a gift from God, what we're thankful for, like what we've learned through all this joy and laughing.
Yes.
Sunday of gratitude.
That's funny. That's funny. You should mention the word gratitude, Karen. Every call I have on Zoom with my groups, like we had, I had one today. We had 22 on. The very first element of the meeting, everyone gets 25 to 35 seconds to give something they're grateful for, or a win for their week. It can be personal, business. A win.
W-I-N.
So yeah. And it's amazing when you do that with a group over a period of time, what happens.
That has
gratitude. I love gratitude.
Gratitude win kind of thing might be the 5th one. We got a number of ideas that we can work further at another time on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maybe we should stick with gratitude then. I really like it. Somehow tie that all in.
On the 5th one.
Yeah, it's gratitude. It's a recap. There's a variety of ways that it can be worked out. But don't lose that gratitude concept. The
text that goes with that, what I found in James's book, is Psalm 65. It's not, humorous, but it's all about gratitude.
What's the reference?
Psalm 65, 9 through 13. You visit the earth and water it. You greatly enrich it. The rivers of God flow is full of water. So just all the things that we're thankful for in the earth, settling its ridges, softening it with showers, and blessing its growth. You crown the year with your bounty. Your wagon tracks overflow with riches. They shout and sing together for joy. So maybe just some kind of a culmination.
Page 62 is the study and joy.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Right. And the one I'm looking at is page 67. That's the text there.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Take a picture of that, Rich, and save it or not?
Well, it's recorded.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't read the whole thing, just highlights of it. So
everything you've said has been recorded, just so you know.
Yeah, it's fine.
7:16. What are their next elements that we need to talk about? It's 7:17.
Oh, it's 7:17 time.
Oh, I was wondering what the number was. Okay.
Thank you. I thought it was just me.
Yeah, no, I'm like, what's 7:16? That's July. Yeah. There's one more thing too I thought about was humor is healing. Maybe tie that in like part of a Sunday. I think that, I don't know, I just find value in it when we're in the summer. People are definitely looking for a time to Sabbath, and healing might be a good part of that.
A story one might use for that is the Jonah story, because Jonah gets a little ticked off.
Yeah, and he's kind of in his own, he's like in a timeout, like his own Sabbath for 3 days. Okay, good.
We've got location, we've got time, we've got themes. Where do we go next?
Music?
I think we need to get further along before we.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
We've got story. No, the elements are mix of story and one-liners, overview, and themes. I'm trying to write this down.
But we need to go back to that list you had on the front page, at least as I can see it.
And Pat's asking when are we starting the service?
10:30.
10:30. That's what I thought.
I love it. That's great. That'll give us time, like, for those of us who have to be there early, you know,
Yes.
get our stuff done and in not such a hurry.
What about the children element? Who finds out if Sandy's available and riddles and all those kind of things?
I don't know. I like the theme of the riddles, you know, with the kids.
One of us should take that on and talking with her, though. Do you want to do that, Karen? You want me to?
No, I can talk to her about it. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if you feel okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Pat was asking a logistics question. What do we do about coffee and tea time? I think we talked to the hospitality committee, coffee people.
Yes.
Coffee
Let them
people.
decide. Yeah.
Would you see it beforehand? Pat, would you see it beforehand, or can she hear me?
She says yes.
Yeah, because if you had it there to serve when you came in,
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock or whenever, then you can, or 10:15, you can take it into the assembly room.
Well, do they do that? Yeah. She said the same thing.
Are we gonna have?
Mhm.
Maybe I'm too far ahead, but like, are we gonna have tables in there, like, or chairs?
Yeah.
Seat everywhere.
Chairs.
Just chairs, right? Around?
Chairs. Yeah.
Okay. So no tables. So we couldn't have coffee on the table. We would bring our cups in.
That needs to be recorded that we have no tables, just chairs.
Okay. Just checking.
And I'll make it a mission to see if I can find Menno Diener's original seating chart that he used
Oh.
to set the chairs up in a so everyone can see, you can see each other.
Wow. That's really cool.
I'll see if someone has it, I'm sure. I'll see if we can find it.
Okay.
Oh, drama.
That's one of the elements.
Yeah. What did we have it listed?
No. We do now.
Okay. MYF, drama.
I love it.
Inspired by Rich.
Yes.
You got a big
Well, we always
responsibility there, buddy.
the reason I say that is we always have drama in the MYF, planned or unplanned. So
I was going to say planned or unplanned.
It's the nature of the beast. That's all it is.
you know, you might as well go with the talents that you got who are good at what they do. So.
What is the makeup of MYF right now? How many gals and guys?
There's 14 on
we're
the
down to
roster. There's 3 guys.
Yeah.
And everyone else girls.
Well,
Just curious.
next year it'll be down to 2 guys, right? Oh no, 3.
Peter, John, and
That's right.
Ben.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
all girls.
Pat, a question for you. The hearing things for people. I hear they have trouble in the assembly room.
Can't use that system over there. I don't think.
Is there any way to solve that problem?
Or is the acoustics good enough in there?
Between now, what have we got? June, July, and August? We got 2 months?
Yeah, I don't know anything about sound.
We need to buy a new system for the assembly room. Yeah.
Good. That's the expense for the. There we go. Now we have a reason to buy it.
Do people feel like the sound system in there is not adequate? I've never had trouble hearing in that room.
I guess some people feel like they have trouble hearing.
And I'm hard of hearing these days. So.
Well, I know some people have those headphones, and I don't think you can get any better than that. You know what I mean? With that direct.
But I've been told those headphones don't work in the assembly room.
They don't. That's right. So I'm saying, like, unless it's a headphone thing, I don't think
system
we're
is
going
only
to get
for
a
the
good
hearing
response.
assist
Okay.
unit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's something we need to talk about, or reserve front row seats.
Yeah, if there is sharing, that will be critical on how being able to hear each other in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What is left undone?
Are we going to choose
My
some
lawn?
titles that we like?
Titles for what? For the
If we want to borrow his chapter titles, do we want to choose 5? Will that help us set sail here?
Well, I liked somebody's idea of just using between heaven and mirth, like as part of the ultimate,
For
like
the whole series.
That's the whole series. So the series is called Between
How does
Heaven and
everybody
Earth.
feel about that? Like naming like the whole series first.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
We need the chapter titles that fit with the stories and the themes. I agree.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's where,
absolutely.
Karen, I went back on your one on healing for Jonah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
So you had one wherever you've got Jonah written down, Deb.
What was the proposed title for Jonah, or the topic?
I didn't write anything about that because I haven't read it to have it all developed or have it.
Where'd it go, Karen?
What's that?
Oh, there it is. I'm not funny and my life stinks.
Yeah, that's chapter 7.
Yeah.
Is that related to Jonah?
Yes.
Okay. I know it is, but I just wanted somebody to say it.
He's so miserable. Like he's like this spoiled child. Yes. Let's use him that way.
Well, if we don't have chapter titles that quite fit, let's make our own.
Yeah, exactly.
You used his one on God has brought laughter for me for the Isaac story.
God has brought laughter for me.
Or to me.
Or to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's solid. Is there something funny? Is there? I mean, we got to beat that. I'm not funny, but my life stinks. You know, that's
Rich,
pretty.
somewhere you had some excellent ones. I don't know where I can't. How do I find this?
Oh, well, some of those were related to men. I had Moses and the laughing bush.
Yes.
Humor, laughter, and a hilarious Christian. Anabaptist humor, or did Menno ever get his groove back?
Those were Richisms.
Yeah.
Those were yours?
Yeah.
Or am I missing them in the book? Okay, they're yours. They're
We
wonderful.
don't get that far ahead. We stop at Jesus. Maybe our last one should be the Reformation. There's not much. Wait, I take that back. Never mind.
We tell them there's 6 Sundays, and it's ever get his groove back.
Did Menno ever get his groove back?
And then we tell him we canceled it.
I think we should do a Sunday about that.
We just couldn't go there, right? We just couldn't go there.
Well, that could be our culmination, Sunday, where all the Mennos gotten their groove back. I don't know. Do our talent show or what we're thankful for.
You've got three people in this group who are outsiders. You and I and Rich. We laugh a lot.
How does this feel in the next 2 or 3 minutes to wrap it up here? Do we need to share this with Rachel? Do we feel like we've made good work?
Did anybody besides me take notes?
No.
Well, I'm going to post the recording on my YouTube channel and send you a link.
Okay.
So if she wants to watch it, she can.
Okay.
Pat has notes as well. Great.
Susan King too, right? Is she still part of the team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Planning?
Mm-hmm.
And Carla.
Oh, Carla.
Oh, and Carla. So share that link with them.
One thing we haven't talked about
I'll
is
just share with everybody
on this.
What's that?
Sorry?
Another time we need to talk about
Visual?
visuals.
Something symbolic.
Symbol that you see that go with this.
Oh, yeah.
Could be something that runs through the whole session. The whole series, I mean.
How about we let Carla think about that?
Mhm.
Did you guys watch the TED Talk?
Yes.
I thought that little skit about Adam and God was hilarious.
Would you suggest that for the opener?
Well, I maybe something like that, and I could pull that off.
The one
We'll let Karen. We won't give it away. We'll let Karen watch it.
I'm gonna watch it now. I'm hanging up here and I'm gonna watch it.
Rich, the one I've always found fascinating. Did you ever see where God is seated? It is.
I didn't.
It's a brain. It's the cortex. Take a look at that. The full view of Michelangelo's painting.
Mhm.
Huh.
The mind of God.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap it up here?
Next meeting.
Good point.
Um,
Soon. We still have a lot of work to do.
This Zoom seems to work well.
I like it. I
Yeah,
like being home.
and
I
I
can
think,
watch my kids out the window while I'm doing
I
this.
love it.
This is great.
And I think Pat, can you? Pat says Rachel's out of town next week. I was going to say, Pat, can you get the church to buy a mic and a webcam?
For what purpose?
Pat, are you at church?
For her
You can do
computer.
Zoom again.
Pat, are you at church?
Yes, she's at church.
I have an extra whatchamacallit, camera.
A
Webcam.
webcam.
Okay.
I have a webcam.
Does it have both? Does it have the
Okay.
video and the audio?
I think so.
Awesome.
I will make.
Mhm.
I'll have to clarify that. That's important.
Well, if it's a webcam, I think it's included. And
Yeah.
Pat, all you have to do is plug it in. I can show you how to do that when we meet on Friday.
Okay. So we've got a camera for Pat.
Yep.
If I remember where I put it.
Box 37.
No, it's not even in a numbered box.
Oh,
Unless
it's
it
the
was
brown box with the red tape around the bottom left corner.
Oh, well. We're not going to AMC this week, no. No, she's asking if we can get it up there. We're not making another trip. So.
Okay. Pat, we'll see what we can do to get that, but I don't think we're coming that way. I don't even know what this Sunday holds.
He has a bad foot right
We-
now that we're trying to nurse. He dropped a refrigerator on it.
Ooh.
A small fridge, but
A mini fridge.
I was going to say, what are you doing picking up a refrigerator in the first place?
it's a little
Your age.
when you're diabetic and it's your foot.
Yeah.
Oh,
To give you a perspective, when I took my head hose off, my compression stocking, my
Mhm.
foot turned black.
Oh my gosh.
ouch.
That scared me.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you have it
It worried-
elevated?
It worried the podiatrist. Yes, he needs to be as soon as we're off of here.
Wow. You take care of yourself.
I always do.
Oh, what about?
Oh, Pat's out of town on Sunday. I'm out of town on Sunday too.
Okay. Right. But we'll have to check with her.
We'll call you about something, Karen, later.
Okay.
We got other agenda for you.
Okay.
Uh-oh. It sounds heavy. It's not.
It's about babysitting,
It's not.
which you've
It has fins.
already done.
Yay! I get to watch B2. I'm so excited. Awesome. Bring it. I love the company.
All right.
All right, we'll get you a webcam, Pat. If
But the other thing is that Rachel's out of town now for what, till June 12th?
yeah, but do you guys still want to meet on Wednesday? If she
Well, where is she?
Where is she?
You know?
She's
on vacation.
Oh, but she could still Zoom.
she can
Well, the internet is everywhere.
well, and my idea is that she could view it when it's convenient, and then she can email us her comments maybe if she
Mhm.
can't be there,
Yes.
Mhm.
and then we can talk about it. I mean, that's one way, but we can also ask her if she would. You're right. It's all internet.
So why don't we go back to the, whatever that thing's called that we sign up and say, this is when we could do Zoom again? Or is there
Doodle.
something in Zoom?
Oh, the doodle. Well, I could do next Wednesday again at 6:30.
Okay, so can we,
Okay, Pat, I don't understand out.
she said Rachel is,
Oh,
should
Rachel's
be part
out.
of it, should be
Oh,
part
okay.
of it.
Yeah.
Pat, can you do next Wednesday?
I mean, we wouldn't have to do that scheduling thing if we can come to one mind here, although Susan and,
That's most of us. I
Carla.
mean,
huh?
that's most of us.
Yeah.
And Carla. Oh, this.
Can
I can
we
do
go for next
6:30.
Tuesday at 6:30?
Is this a bad time for Carla?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what her schedule is like.
I think hers is a computer issue.
Oh,
Oh, shoot.
can she meet at the church with
I
Pat?
was gonna say, yeah, she could meet with Pat.
Well, it's not a good time for Carla.
What time is?
She's early, right? Like 4:30 or something? 5:30.
5:30
I could do 5:30.
on a Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
I could do on Wednesday as well. I could do 5:30 on Wednesday.
And we'll send Susan and Carla the link that you're going to put this on YouTube, you said?
Mhm.
Okay. And
I'll
they,
send it over to you as soon as I get it.
what's the matter with Wednesday for Carla?
It doesn't work for her.
Oh, I don't know.
She's babysitting her grand. Do you know what her schedule is, Pat? Like, do you know what days do work for her? I'm looking at my calendar. I don't know.
Mary Jane leaves to Vermont next Tuesday, so I can do any time, any day, midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever you want.
Other evening.
Yes,
You dreamer, you.
somebody that's got my schedule.
What about Tuesday? Pat just said she thinks other evenings are okay. What about Tuesday at 5:30?
Yeah, I think I can make that work. Anna and Isaac have a.
You know, let's
Doctor
start from
appointment.
there.
I'd prefer Thursday because I already have 4 Zoom meetings on Tuesday.
Thursday,
Yep.
I can be available probably after 5:36.
You could stay at work.
Yeah, I could do that, but I'd rather not. Thank you.
That's what I'll do if it's at 5:30.
So where is it? Where are we leaving it at?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Thursday?
Pat's gonna check with Carla.
Okay.
5:30, right? That
Yeah.
works for me.
I'm trying to think of what time was good for Carla for the last one. What time do we meet at the church?
I thought she had to leave by 7, right? When we were at the library. Yes.
Do you want to know the price?
Yes.
$4.62.
How did you do that? I paid $10.19 or something for mine.
Hardcover.
Hardcover. Did you get it on
Hardcover.
Amazon?
Pardon?
Did you get it on Amazon?
No. Got this one from Thrift Books. I got my sources. You know that.
Yeah.
You got to get him to give you those sources, ma'am.
Well, I bought mine impulsively. I was in the moment. I was emotional and bought it right away.
And Pat says the earlier the better with Carla. So
What does that mean?
So on Thursday,
earlier the better.
Earlier time.
Yeah, earlier time.
What is the earlier time?
oh, we're waiting for Pat to respond. Oh, she must be talking to her on the phone.
Yes.
Anytime after 3:30. And that's Thursday?
I can't do that.
You can't do that.
No. The one day of the week that we work late.
So Thursdays aren't an option for you at all?
Well, unless it's later.
Like,
Well, I said 5:30.
can Carla do 5:30? Is that what?
And Wednesday's not an option because of grandkids, right?
I
Yeah.
think so.
If Tuesday would work better for everybody, I can just stay at work and do Tuesday.
As long as we start at 5:30, she should be able to come.
Which day?
Is Thursday still okay? She'll call her later. So let's make it tentatively 5:30 next Thursday.
Okay.
And then we can also check with Rachel as to where she is on her journey and
Yeah, see if she can fit it in.
right. We can always come back together and decide on a different time.